Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is practice letting go. And the first reading from Louise Hay's Everyday Positive Thinking. And this one is by Cheryl Richardson. Have a good cry. Grief is a doorway to your deepest self. And the second and only reading I'm going to do today is from The Well-Lived Life, Dr. Gladys McGarey, the 102-year-old doctor. And this is entitled, Look for the Trickle Around the Dam. In Chapter 9, I explained that life is always moving. There's always a trickle forming around the dam. When we focus on this trickle, we start to notice life's natural movement. As we move through our pain, be it physical, emotional, or spiritual, we begin to relax our shame, maybe even laugh about it, and release it along with everything else that isn't serving us. The trickle begins to grow, eventually bursting the dam that blocks us. The impossible becomes possible, and we find ourselves rising to meet our own life force in ways we never imagined. This is often the case with grief. Grief isn't quite the same as depression. Grief moves, while depression stands still. When we let our grief move, we don't suppress it. Instead, we focus on our love for whomever or whatever was lost, while letting the suffering pass through us. The goal isn't to get rid of our grief or to make it go away faster, nor is it to hold on to it forever and ever. Yet the moment grief separates from the principle of movement, it can become stuck. As Elizabeth's important, she's referring to Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who was a friend of hers, and of course she wrote a book about grief. Her important research shows us we have to keep moving between the stages, allowing our truth and grief to flow. How can you help someone who seems stuck in the suffering of grief? Start by creating a safe space and getting the person talking. Every once in a while, this alone can cause the dam to break. This was the case for Teresa, the patient who suffered from intestinal obstruction, whom I introduced in Chapter 8. I was really interested in all the deaths she had in her life recently, so I started asking her about her grief process. Losing 5 family members and close friends in 12 months was a big deal. Anyone who had been through that would be grieving. So when she said, "Of course," in response to my question as to whether she had grieved, I wanted to know what grieving meant to her. "Well," she said, "I felt really sad about it, yet I could tell that wasn't enough. I sat there, present and listening." Teresa was silent for a good long while. "I haven't cried, though," she said. For the first time, she looked at me directly. I had a sense that she was assessing me to see whether I was safe. I held my gaze steady and tried to reassure her that I was safe and could hold the space she needed. Still, we sat. Silently, I signaled that we had all the time in the world. Suddenly, a lumbering sound built in her belly. It rose through her throat. It entered her mouth, and I saw a look of panic. Then the sob fully erupted from her mouth, almost as if she were vomiting. I reached out to hold her, and she accepted my embrace as we sat together. There in my arms, she sobbed and sobbed. As Teresa cried, I could feel her releasing the sadness stuck inside her. Her entire body began to undulate as the sobs moved through her. Then an uncanny thing happened. She was sad, yes, but I felt her being was flowing with life. Over time, she began to settle down. She sat back down in her seat. I offered her a tissue and she took it. Then she sipped a glass of water for a few minutes, shaking slightly. The room felt both calm and potent, like the strange quiet that comes after an Arizona monsoon. We both knew that something incredible had happened, something that she had desperately needed. After our appointment, Teresa's chronic obstruction immediately dissipated. It seemed that as soon as her emotional state shifted, her body was able to self-correct. She went home to find her digestion and elimination had become regular again. It turned out that her tears had needed to move first, then the rest of her body could follow. This provides a clear example of what happens when we try to stop the flow of life. First, we become deeply uncomfortable, and then we start to suffer. Our muscles lock up, our organs stop their healthy functioning, and we become sick. We misalign with life because life is moving, and we are focused on sitting still. We sit there staring at the dam, blocking the flow of life within us. And when we stare at that dam, we fail to notice the small trickle formulating around it. Find the trickle, or at the very least, find the place where the trickle is about to start. Give it your energy. Pull all your life force there. Put all your life force there. In that part of you that is finding a path around the dam. Believe in it. Trust it. This is life moving through you. As long as you're alive, your life force is flowing. As you watch this trickle, it will grow. Your life force will tell you how to grow it. Watch it become a stream. Put your attention there until the dam shackles, cracks, and breaks free. When it does, let gratitude for your life force flow. Let your faith in yourself run through you as your life force strengthens. What can you do the next time you feel stuck? Let things go and realign with life. And she's got a thing here about practice letting go and 5 steps of it. I think what I'll do is I'll type that out for you and put it in the description in case any of you are interested in it. But grief is something we all go through. I mean, it's part of life, and I know it's not easy, and I know what she means about facing it and living life again. I remember when my first husband died, a long time ago. He was just 40 years old and died of cancer. And I remember after, it was so hard for me to get back to living again. And what helped me was he told me that he wanted me to get back to playing tennis and living life again. And it was hard, but you have to do it. You've got to go through it, because as she says, our life force is running through us, and we can't block it. We've got to get out there and enjoy life again. And our loved ones who have gone, that that they would want us to live and enjoy life again too. That's what I want you to do. Enjoy your life. I send you my love. Until next week. Bye for now.